Welcome back to that Heartbreak Hogs podcast, where we're going to talk about some Razorback basketball. But before we do, Sid, anybody who is new to this channel, please consider hitting a thumbs up on the video, subscribing to our channel. We are an independent Razorback following podcast, and we love our Razorbacks, love those Hogs, and yeah, if you guys want to support us, support this channel. Uh, we do have full-time jobs, so it takes time to make this content, but we love doing it, and we love talking to other Razorback fans. So yeah, if you guys want to follow, comment down below, let us know what you think of the channel. And with that being said, let's continue to the episode. Sid, how about that basketball team? Did you go to the Lipscomb game? Like, do you have basketball
No, I had some
season
friends
tickets?
that I don't have basketball season tickets. I wish I had them. This year would have been the one for sure, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to get them next year. I did
Yeah,
have a
you
friend
you
that,
bought the football tickets instead, huh?
yeah, yeah. Those came easy because it's just renewals, right? But
Yeah.
basketball's also tougher to get than football is for
Mm-hmm.
the season
Wonder
tickets.
why.
Yeah, I wonder why. Um, no, I wish I went to this game, but I had a friend that went, and um, yeah, tickets weren't too bad, but um, great game.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it
Great
was
game.
good to
Good
see.
start.
I mean, a win's a win, right?
Yeah, good start.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's talk about it. What were your key takeaways, and what did you think what came out of it as good, and what did you think came out of it as bad in your opinion
So,
from this game?
I thought overall they looked pretty good. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to light the world on fire. So I just wanted to see, hey, like Liscombe is a team that can sneak up on you. Um, they beat a tournament team in Duquesne is I think how you say it the week before, and there's a lot of people who think that Lipscomb will be on the bubble of the NCAA tournament, and basically, yeah, I mean this is a team that is like, hey, it's not going to say a whole lot if you beat them, but beat them. You know, like
Right.
just don't lose. And we kind of saw Fland have some really good plays, and then kind of cool off back to reality of, hey, this guy is human. He can miss shots. Um, I do still think that he's super talented. It was great seeing Big Z. Big Z had some big moments in this game. It looked like Lipscomb was catching back up to the Hogs, and then Big Z hit a three. Um, Nelly Davis, I really liked how he was playing. I thought he did a really good job. Um, and let's see here. Wagner, he had some good moments. And then Brazil, he's looking better than he was under Muss. Like he looks more like a big man.
Hmm.
He still seems a little bit fragile and a little weaker as the forward. Um, but it's game one. Like, let's keep an eye on things. Let's keep them going. It was good seeing Jonas Adu back in the rotation. He didn't play a whole lot of time. He was only in for 7 minutes, and I think that's just because of his injury. So we're gonna see more and more of him. I think game to game. I'm kind of interested to see how many minutes he plays against Baylor. Knox, I think Knox had some pretty good shots. He had a 3-pointer, some good 2-pointers there, and he made some good moves. Thiero, man, Thiero to me, like I kind of feel like he may be one of my top favorite players. He's a jumping jack, dude. He can just jump up there, and he's not quite like Zion, where it was just like, dude, this guy with his size and all that. But Thiero's kind of like a heavier set dude that like anytime he jumps, you're like, oh, I did not expect that guy to be able to jump that high, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I'll let you get to it. But overall, I was happy with what I saw. I'm excited to see what the Baylor preparation looks like, because I do think Baylor's beatable.
Mm-hmm.
They lost last week or earlier this week. So I'm just excited to kind of see, how do we respond after a win? After we beat Kansas, we kind
Yeah.
of didn't really show up very well against TCU. So that's kind of my big things is, all right, we won. Let's have some fun with the win. Now, are you ready to go and play your next game?
Yeah, I wouldn't consider Lipscomb to Texas, or I mean to Kansas, but um, again, that was an exhibition game, and this is like Lipscomb is a smaller team, but
Right. Yeah.
it is the start of the season, so in terms of takeaways, there's few, but what I can say is the same thing I think I said after the exhibition game last week, which was the team will find a way to gel together, needs to find a way to gel together, but that will happen as the season goes on. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and as they keep winning games, I think their confidence will build up. But
Yep.
the key part early in the season is find a way to win games that like we should win against whether I'm not talking about like the Lipscomb teams, I'm talking about the ranked opponents like Baylor and a couple of, that we have upcoming as well.
Yep.
Find a way to
That'll
win
be the
those
real
games
test. Yeah.
to get the confidence boost, and then that will kind of help like the team gel together a lot more,
Mm-hmm.
and that will be important when we continue playing like good teams, ranked teams later in the season where it's just and especially when we get to if we get to that SEC tournament um and the big March Madness tournament. So um but that's a future. That's ways ahead. So let's go game at a time and see
Yep.
how these guys keep playing. I mean, in this game, if I had takeaways, yeah, I mean, the individually, I saw guys playing had their moments, right? Same
Right.
thing as that I saw from exhibition, that exhibition games. Guys had their moments, and guys kind of um, showed what they can do, which is exciting as fans, and especially for
Right.
this team this year. Um, like Big Z shooting that 3-pointer again. I mentioned this last week. It's just cool to see like a big man like that being able to knock down a three in a key moment
Mm-hmm.
when it's actually needed. Boogie Flan is my guy. I mean, he can make plays happen. He can kind of make steals and just kind of um, I don't know, control the court. But I think as a team, the more that they're able to kind of, I've saw it in the exhibition against the Kansas game, but like more that they're able to like kind of pass it around and not play hero ball and just kind of, um, obviously there's going to be times where you get the, let's show them we're way better than you and I'm way better than you moments. But like as a team, the more that they're able to kind of control the pace of play and then kind of just work together on defense and offense, they'll I see them doing really well this season. But we shall see after the Baylor game this Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm stoked. But yeah, like you said, you can't take too much from this.
Hmm.
It is Liscum. For me, it's just make sure you beat teams like this. And like you said, learn how to win together. I think it was about 4 points whenever Big Z hit that three. They had been
Hmm.
up by like 14, 12, something around there. And then it was all of a sudden like 4 point game. And it's like, oh no, what's going on? This looks like that TCU game, the exhibition game against TCU. Why are they coming back when we had this big lead? And then you saw the team come together, and you could tell they practiced end of game scenarios of, hey, what do you do if the other team starts coming back? And all of a sudden, it was Big Z hits a three, and then turnover, where we have a bunch of steals. I mean, a turnover as in turnover on Liscomb, created
Hmm.
by us. And they it's good to see them. I know it's against Liscomb. It's a smaller team that's probably worn out by the end of the game because they don't have the depth or the athletes. but just to see that, hey, we can go a full game, because it was kind of like, hey, is our team like, are they tired by the end of these games? Like, are they running out of gas? Like, do they not have enough stamina for this? But
Mhm.
this game showed, hey, we do have stamina. And let's see how that translates to a team like Baylor, who has the athletes, who should also have, the conditioning that we have similar to our level. And let's go see what we can do to them. And they're coming off of a loss, and sometimes that can be a dangerous time to play another
Mhm.
team. It doesn't necessarily mean, oh, well, they lost, so they should be easy. No, it sometimes means that they've figured out some things of, okay, we know that we need to fix this. Let's go
Yeah.
and fix this so it doesn't happen again. And you're kind of the test of, okay, we fixed this thing. Now let's go see if it works on these guys.
Yeah.
So,
No, for sure. Yeah, speaking of Baylor, I mean, like exactly as you mentioned, they're also just like how we have figured out where you mentioned where as we get close, how do we kind of pull away in those end
yep.
game scenarios? I'm sure Baylor has done the exact same thing, right?
Yep.
And so we have to be prepared for that as well because they're not gonna like go down easy.
Mhm.
If they're down, they're gonna play till the last minute. And
Right.
and can we match that or can we outdo that? Is gonna be interesting to see for that this Saturday. Because they
Yeah.
are gonna have that fire to kind of play. And if they're up, they're gonna continue. I think they're not gonna let down. So
Mhm.
can we get back in it if we are down? Can we kind
Ooh,
of
that's a good point.
pull up, and see what we can do if we get down early or if we get
Mhm.
down for the second half? Um,
Yeah, that's a really good point, man.
mhm,
Because yeah, it's gonna see, because we haven't really had to deal with that.
mhm,
The only thing we've dealt with is being up and then losing a lead, and we haven't really played from behind. How's the team gonna come together and then really respond as a team? And that's something we really want to see this year, because last year it was all about me on that team. And
yeah,
it just, there was no, teamwork. And okay, hey, um, let's, come together and figure out who the ball needs to go with. It was like, hey, if the ball's in my hands, I'm going to go and do something with it. Um, but yeah, I think this team does look more. They do have more chemistry. I know it was
mhm,
Lipscomb, and that's just how it is. All we can do is go by with what we've seen, and
mhm,
we're just gonna have to go week by week of, okay, these problems showed up. Are they fixable? Or,
yeah.
oh wow, that
Just
was
find a
really
way to
good.
win games. I don't wanna yeah,
Right.
just find a way to win games if it is close and, like, that
Mm-hmm.
the record will I think will continue helping the confidence, early on, like 1-1 versus 2-0 and then 3-0,
Right.
4-0, like, those early games will
And a game to the
these are to
wire,
help exactly.
down to the
These
wire.
are to help build confidence, like the 4-0s, 5-0s. If we start early and start bad early, it's just gonna hurt us later on,
Mm-hmm.
um, and we're gonna have to we don't wanna worry about figuring it out mid-season. We wanna
Mm-hmm.
figure it out early in the season,
Right.
and that starts with, yeah, just kind of learning from each game, but also finding a way to win them as well during the
Right.
game.
Because if you start losing early too, and definitely there are teams that will turn it around by, they start out slow and they
Always,
start
yeah.
finishing hot. That is a thing, but the risk of, when you start losing early, and again, it's not the end of the world if you do. It's not.
Mhm.
But you do kind of want to avoid that, because then you can start having locker room problems, and you can start having guys not trusting one another, not relying on one another. But when you're winning, you build that trust in each other. You build that reliance of, if I pass it to this guy in this situation, I know he can do it and he can close, and that he trusts
Yeah.
me in the same role, you know? So that's why it's a big deal. Like Sid is saying, that we gotta figure out ways to win early. Figure out who are the guys that are the 1 minute guys. Under 1 minute, who are the guys that we want to put the ball in their hands? You know,
Yeah, and I'm not saying like the goal like a goal is to go undefeated, but I'm not saying we're not
the
gonna
goal is to go undefeated.
I'm not saying we definitely won't lose games. And if we don't
Yeah,
lose games, yeah, it's just like yeah, early in the season, I think we just have to build that confidence, especially with this young team and kind of all new players that need to figure out how to work together. And that
yep,
only happens, I think, if we start winning early, like I said.
yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see this Baylor game. I know you are too, Sid. You're gonna be traveling, so you may have a hard time kind of catching it, but
Yeah, I'll be
it should
watching
be a
it.
good one.
I'll be
He-
watching it.
uh, yeah, he's not gonna miss it. No traveling's gonna stop him from watching that game.
Yes, sir.
Because that's a big test, and it's so cool that that's coming in on in the first week. You
Yeah, the
know,
second game. Yeah.
hmm so that'll be really interesting. And it's not the end of the world if we lose this game. If you lose this game, it's back to the drawing board of okay, what what was it that kind of got us down, and what was it that we didn't do to come back into this game? Were guys being selfish? Was it just a bad shooting night overall where everybody was just out of sync?
Hmm.
Just kind of analyzing, just going like, okay, what was the cause of this? And then watching the response to that loss in the games to follow, or if
Yeah.
you win a close one, hey, did you win by 2 points where you were down by 4 with 40 seconds left, and then you created 2 turnovers and then went up? Or,
Hmm.
how did you close it together? Who all was scoring? Was it only one person making all the points, or was Brazil getting a dunk and then Nelly hitting a three and then Big Z getting a key rebound? Stuff like that. One last thing I want to point out here is rebounding. Um, Brazil has got to be a rebounding force down there. Big Z needs to be a rebounding force. Jonas Adu. And I think if this team can get rebounding done and some defense, they are going to be scary good, man. Scary good. So
No,
I'm stoked.
absolutely. The last thing like I was want to say was I'm excited also for Calipari, and
Mm-hmm.
seeing like his in-game like coaching decisions and how he like kind of gets his team together.
Right.
Because I think he's done the preparation, but now it's to kind of see how it plays all together and how he's able to change in ways that will make the team finding
Mm-hmm.
ways for them to win. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, man. And those press conferences with Cal, those are entertaining press conferences, man. He gets fired up. He has all these stories that he's always telling everybody about, and he's a cool dude. And man, let's hope that this translates to winning, because he's been quite the car salesman, if you would. He's coming in with big talk, big game. I really hope that it translates, and that we win some SEC games, we win some tournament games, and we win some key non-conference games. And it starts with
Hmm.
Baylor. There's also games like Illinois is going to be another big one. That's in
Hmm.
on Thanksgiving. So a lot of basketball to go, and just excited to see the outcomes of some of these big games, and just make sure that we continue beating the Lipscombs on our schedule, the teams that you have to beat, especially when
For
you're at
sure.
home. So I guess with that being said, is there anything else you want to add, Sid, or is that about it?
I think for this week, yeah, that's about it. That wraps it up, and let's see these Hogs beat the Baylor squad.
Yep. Let's see what happens against Baylor. With that being said, we're going to close out of here and go to the next segment. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment down below, and subscribe if you have not already. Again, we're an independent channel. We both have full-time jobs. It takes a lot of time to make this content, to put time aside to record these videos. We're not complaining. We love doing it. But it'd be cool to interact with more and more Hog fans as we push more of this content for basketball and football. That being said, thank you guys for watching, and we'll be heading out of here. See you guys in the next episode.